escape to the Smokies for the Bavarian Fall Festival at Anakista. Enjoy Bavarian-style food, live music, fall colors, and a beer tasting pass you'll love. Enjoy good views with great brews. Get your tickets at anakista.com.
So did you see the sunrise this morning? Did you see that nice little color as the show started to open? Oh, got some nice little reds and oranges cascading. It's light right at the base of those mid-level clouds. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is a live look right now in Clinton, downtown Clinton, I should say, in Anderson County. And again, just had a nice little glow right before it came up over the horizon. But what a beautiful start to the day it is. Now, these clouds, just like yesterday, are going to be with us for the better part of the day. Not much of a change in the forecast from yesterday, but we are talking about changes here this week. So happy Monday. Sure hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for joining me for Wake Up with Witcher here this morning. We got Chris and Krista and Shelby and Julie and Kathy and Deborah, Missy and Ruth and Eva. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's show you the big picture pattern and show you what's going on around the area because we do have these mid-level clouds just kind of hanging out with us. We've got a southerly stream of moisture coming in from the Gulf and the Atlantic. Not a ton of rain expected today, but just like yesterday, can't rule out maybe a stray shower or also maybe a sprinkle here or there. Not expecting much today, but our cold front is off to our north and west on the top left-hand side of the screen, and that's what's going to bring us increasing rain chances here through the middle part of the week. Well, really just starting tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. Let's take you outside and show you a cool time lapse. This is from yesterday morning in downtown Clinton as well. Had a little bit of fog early in the morning, then a nice sunrise, and plenty of sunshine through the day. And here in a second, you're going to see those mid-level clouds streaming in from the west. There's a little batch there. Here's a little bit more as that moisture kind of surged on into the area, giving us the cloud coverage. And yes, even a couple of sprinkles around the area. And that was really going to be about the extent of it. As you step outside this morning, we actually have a little bit of fog showing up, but not enough to necessarily to slow most of you down here. If you're joining us from, say, Campbell County, Union, Claiborne, Hawkins, Hancock County, you may run into a little bit of fog, Morristown, and Hamlin County as well. So not expecting a lot of fog this morning, but it is comfortable. Temperatures are trending a little bit warmer. We're actually in the 50s and 60s from what we had over the last couple of days. And that's due to the fact that our moisture content, the dew points have climbed just a little bit more. And that's going to be the story until the cold front comes on through. So forecast high temperatures are going to make it into the upper 70s to low 80s, so still trending above average. That's where we were yesterday. If you were in the direct sunlight, it was on the toasty side. 62 this morning, 76 by lunchtime. Like I said, our goal is going to be in the low to mid 80s. Now, we do have a little bit of a breeze. We had that yesterday. Not much of a wind, but a little bit of a breeze. And I think south of Interstate 40 likely to have a little bit more. The mountain counties, the higher elevations into the Smoky Mountain National Park. A little bit of that fall breeze, if you will, but it's a southerly flow, not a northerly flow. We talked about that yesterday on the show. All right, so here we go. Through the day today, here's those mid-level clouds streaming on through. You can see how we'll see a couple of radar returns showing up on the Futurecast. Again, not going to add up to a whole lot in most locations. I think this model is kind of overdoing the rainfall totals anyways, but the general idea is there. We have that southerly, southeasterly fetch of moisture. That's going to swing on through, so don't be caught off guard if you get a little bit of rain. And if you have evening plans here tonight, maybe you're doing a staycation if you're on fall break. We're at 81 degrees by 6 and down to 72 degrees by 10 o'clock tonight. So really not a bad evening. Now, here's what we're watching this week. A cold front heads our way tomorrow night into Wednesday. It's going to increase our temperatures, increase our humidity, but the rain's going to move in late Tuesday. Now, we'll have probably some showers throughout the day, but I think the bulk of the rain is going to come on through. We've got a lot of moisture to work with. Got a stream of moisture coming in from the Gulf, and so that could lead to some locally heavy rain, but beneficial rain either way you look at it. Trough of low pressure hanging out across the Great Lakes and back to our west. That's our jet stream pattern. At the surface, we've got our cold front to our north and west. This is 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Okay, so 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Notice I'm showing you precipitable water because notice the dark shades of reds and oranges. That's not high precipitable water. Precipitable water is actually going to be pushing about 1.92 inches, and so that lets us know that any of the rain that does develop with this cold front is going to produce some locally heavy rain. Some good, solid tropical-like downpours are expected, and that could be as early as the evening rush hour tomorrow. Most of the models have it probably after sundown tomorrow night. This model has it a little bit on the earlier side, so we'll just say through the day, expect increasing rain. We'll end the day, if not shortly after after we get home from work, that the rain showers will start to settle on in. Back behind it, though, we do have that drier air. So rain chances, I'm going to go 40% during the daytime hours. It's really going to be after sundown and during the nighttime hours that we're up to about an 80 to 90% chance of rain. So everyone's going to get wet when we get the cold front to swing its way on through the area. Rainfall totals, heaviest rain is going to be to our north and northwest today and tomorrow. It slides its way on in as we get into tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then as we round out the week and head into the upcoming weekend, we're probably not looking at much in the way of rain. I think the air is going to dry out, and we're going to have some cooler sunshine returning. Now, we've talked about this for the last several days, but most of the bulk of the dry air is going to be locked up to our north. But we are going to see those dew points drop just a little bit as the dew points go from the mid-60s today to the mid to upper 60s tomorrow. Cold front comes through, and then it's a gradual process. We start to dry out. Dew points come down into the 50s. So not necessarily the strongest of fall cold fronts, meaning the air is really going to dry out. But models are indicating in about a week or so, well, maybe a little bit above and beyond the 7-day forecast, maybe there is going to be even a stronger cold front that potentially could bring in some of that much needed and welcomed dry fall weather. So we stay in the low 80s today and tomorrow, upper 70s on Wednesday, and then low to mid 80s to round out the week and head into the upcoming weekend. Should be great. But as we've been talking about as well, the Climate Prediction Center still is predicting the potential for above average temperatures above and beyond the 7-day forecast. So that's what we have going on here over the next several days. Not a bad forecast. It's really going to be nice. Good morning, Bonnie. How are you this morning? Did you see my post on social media? Have you been on Facebook yet this morning? I actually got all my work done, which usually I'm like running and gunning, right? And I usually go inside the house at around 6:30 in the morning to go help get the kids off to school, get them breakfast, or just sit there and have conversation with my family because a lot of times my wife has already gotten most of the kids breakfast. Well, my youngest kid, because my oldest kid's still sleeping. Anyways, he's in middle school, so they go to school different times. So I step out of the studio, and typically when I do, I look at the house because the studio's like, next to the house. I can see the house, and I'm like, well, that's strange. It's 6:30, and there are no lights on in the house. I guess I better go inside and start waking people up or start getting some breakfast. I walk to the house. I go, what am I doing? It is fall break. The kids are sleeping in. Let them sleep in. It's like never wake a sleeping baby, right? That's what they say. Never wake sleeping teenagers. Well, they're not quite teenagers yet, but we're almost there. 12 and 10, might as well be teenagers. You guys see the moon? There we go. Cameron said, sunrise was really cool. It was nice to see it without having to drive a bus. Fall break. Yes, Cameron. And I did get your message, by the way. I just haven't had a chance to respond to it. Just an FYI. So that's what I love about these mid-level clouds. Let's see if we can see another view. See if there's another. Well, this is pretty good. Not bad. Here's West Knoxville. That's right off of Pellissippi Parkway and basically Interstate 40. So nice little view there. Anyways, it is fall break. Beautiful sunrise and a moon. Capture that moon this morning. It is a beaut for sure. All right, let's get to work with those national holidays, shall we? I'll show you another view. We'll take you up to Anakeesta. And the camera up there. It's a nice view. It's a nice view. It's going to be a nice day. All right, let's get to work with those national holidays for the day today. It is October 6th. My brother's birthday is coming up in 10 days. 10 days. Old man Preston. I think I said that last year. Anyways, we're celebrating birthdays and events. If you have any events going on, let us know. Do I have any events going on? Is it next Sunday? I think it's next Sunday. I'm going to be emceeing with Heather Wallaga, actually. The Special Growers event. Let's see if I'm right on that. Yes, it is next Sunday. So Special Growers event. It's a great little cause. I'll be talking much more about that in the coming days. And then also, I will be broadcasting from Little Arrow Resort starting Thursday. Well, Wednesday night and Thursday. We're going to head up sometime on Wednesday, do some camping. Well, not really camping, glamping. Anyways, I digress. All right, birthdays and events. We're just talking about events, these are events in my life. All right, it's National Coaches Day. Big shout out to all the coaches. I'll tell you what, I had some great coaches throughout the years. Soccer coaches, they were amazing. Great coaches. And it's a tough job to be a coach. I was a coach for my kids playing soccer for a couple seasons. They've decided not to play soccer anymore. And I'm not going to coach baseball. I'm more of a soccer guy myself, but I coached them a couple seasons. It is not an easy job. I've played the sport my entire life, and but coaching is a totally different ball game because you're like, just go do this, wait, well, you don't really know how to do that. It just makes sense in my head because that's all I ever did. But anyways, big shout out to all the coaches. All right, it's National Orange Wine Day. I have no idea what that's about, but never even heard of orange, and I don't think I've ever seen orange wine. It's National Plus Size Appreciation Day. It's National Noodle Day. My kids would like live on noodles if they could, like butter noodles. It's National German American Day. Any German Americans out here on this platform this morning? Oh, geez, Carcane, that was a disaster, wasn't it? And they were worried about that, I think, knowing that event was coming to Sevierville. I think that was one of the biggest concerns that I saw, that they were concerned about unruly people, which it turned out to be rather unruly, I guess. I didn't really see all the video, but I did see some of it. Probably pretty cool to see some of those cars anyways. All right, it's also National Mad Hatter Day. Gotta love Mad Hatter. Gotta love the Mad Hatter. It's National Child Health Day. Take care of your kids, right? Sure, make sure they get those doctor's checkups. And it's National Consignment Day. I'll give a big shout out to that. My wife and I like doing consignment shopping. Over the years, most of my ties over the years have either come from consignment shops or like TJ Maxx. You can't tell how nice a tie is on TV. May not tie all the way well, but you can buy some cheap ties, that's for sure. But go do some consignment shopping today or some window shopping if you like to do that. All right, let's talk about some weather events for this date in history. All right, on this date, October 6th, in 1989. Let's see if I can get that on the screen so you can see it. 1989, temperature soared into the 90s across southern Texas. Afternoon highs of 93 in Houston and 96 in Austin and Corpus Christi. In 1988, cool Canadian air prevailed across the central and the eastern U.S. Toledo reported a record low of 27 degrees. But Boise, Idaho, where we had a ridge of high pressure, had record highs of 87 degrees. In 1987, the western U.S. Continued to sizzle in 1987 on this date. Excuse me. Afternoon highs of 85 degrees in Astoria, Oregon, and a 101 in Tucson, Arizona. Sacramento beat that at 102. In 1985, a tropical wave, later to become Tropical Storm Isabel, struck Puerto Rico. As much as 24 inches of rain fell in 24 hours, and severe flooding and numerous landslides reported, resulting in rain claimed about 180 lives. In 1984, the temperature in Honolulu, Hawaii reached 94 degrees to establish an all-time record at that location. And in 1836, a second early season snowstorm, by the way, produced 11 inches of snow in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and 26 inches in Auburn, New York. All the mountains in the Northeast were whitened with all the snow. All right, now let's talk about your history across the world. Here's a quote, too. The best victory is when the opponent surrenders of its own accord before there are any actual hostilities. It is best to win without fighting. Sun Tzu wrote that. It is best. They always say it takes a bigger man to walk away from a fight. In 1979, Pope John Paul II became the first pontiff to visit the White House. In 1949, I think I need a music bed underneath this, right? I need some music. In 1949, Iva Tagore d'Aquino, was sentenced to 10 years in prison and fined $10,000 for war crimes. The conviction was for being Japanese wartime broadcaster Tokyo Rose. In 1927, the jazz singer opened in New York, starring Al Jolson. No idea who that is. The film was based on the story, a short story, The Day of Atonement, by Samson Ralphison. I am terrible with names, by the way. In 18, you can just sit there and laugh at me and be like, Witcher, what are you talking about? I'm okay with that. In 1889, in Paris, the Moulin Rouge, I know that, opened its doors to the public for the very first time in 1889. Is that not crazy? I think it's crazy to hear these dates. And in 1847, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brontë was first published in London. I mean, I'm a meteorologist, right? I'm not an anchor. I'm not a professional reader. I just do weather. And we read these all cold. Let's take it back outside, show you a live look there in downtown Gatlinburg here this morning. And a nice start to the day. Feels good outside. Let's see if we have any new Witchers pictures here this morning. I think we had a few I wanted to share with you. If we can get logged in. It logged me out. My website's all locked up right before the show. I was like, what's going on here? What's going on here? Let's get some pictures in, shall we? Ooh. We had some great ones yesterday. I posted these on social media yesterday, but let me show you these. How about this one? This one's awesome. Is that not just the coolest shot ever? This is coming in from Mindy Graves. This was on Sunday at 7:10 p.m. Is that not just the most picturesque shot? Had a cool shot of the moon. This is from, I believe, Lee Bliss this morning. I believe it is. It is. Got a great sunrise. How about this one? This is the sky we were capturing just before the show started. That is gorgeous. That one's coming in from Missy. Missy, thanks so much. Lisa Gibson also captured this one. Missy may have you beat on this one, Lisa. Just saying, but yours is a beaut for sure. Whoa, what happened there? That's a good one, Lisa. Great shot there. We've got another great shot of the American flag. This one's by Beverly Dunn. Grabbing a nice sunrise with the American flag and her flowers in the foreground. And that would be upside down. Poof. We'll make it right side up. We can change things on the fly. And how about this one coming in from Cameron? Sunrise this morning at my father's house looking over Douglas Lake from Dandridge. How about this one? Cameron, that's amazing. This is from your dad's house. Do we need an East Tennessee weather camera right there? I've been needing to get one over there off of Douglas Lake. We need a camera off of Douglas Lake. I looked yesterday on my app, not my East Tennessee weather app, an app I use for my cameras, to see if my new camera is up and running yet. It is not up and running quite yet. I mean, I love these kind of mornings. Here's another look at Fox Road Marina in West Knoxville. It's just nice. This makes me want to get outside and enjoy the morning. So I think you should. If you're off this week because of fall break, get out and enjoy this beautiful weather. I'm getting ready. Got to pack things up a little bit today, and I got to get ready for this little glamping trip that we're going on. Ooh, when is this show, Buck? Text me. Good morning, Sharon. How are you this morning? Jolson Jazz singer. All right, well. Cody got married. That's nice. I know they do, Buck. I know they have clip-on ties. I actually tie my tie. But I've come to the conclusion that I don't untie them all the way like I used to. I just undo it enough. I get it to the right length, and I just undo it enough to hang it on the shelf. Happy Monday, Joey. How are you this morning? Big Orange plays Arkansas this week. Go Vols. You got a little German in you, do you? I would agree with you on that one, Cameron. Soccer is my favorite sport. By the way, Blaine, Tennessee Farmers Market and the last second Saturday marketplace at Tea and Treasures this Saturday. Lots of festivals all over the place. Plus a football game to watch. I showed those pictures already, Mindy. They were amazing. So thank you so much for sharing those. And thanks for sharing all of your photos. Thank you, Beverly. I appreciate it. Decided to wear a tie today. Just because. Why not? All right, my friends, have a great day. Be safe, be kind to each other. Enjoy the day. Watch out for maybe a couple sprinkles, a couple stray showers as the day progresses. Cold front comes through tomorrow night, bringing us a better opportunity for some much-needed rain. And then a better fall feeling to the air as we wrap up the weekend, head into next weekend. Should be nice. I'll see you throughout the day on social media. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go smash and subscribe that YouTube button. It really helps the platform out. We'll see you tomorrow.